What's going on? Thank you guys for waiting. I appreciate you. I have technical difficulties sometimes going live on Google. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's them or my computer. Shouldn't be my computer, but we're live. That's important. I'm going to go live on Facebook real quick and we're going to get into it. What's up, Facebook? We got YouTube. I'll try to make eye contact like a proper speech, but I want to talk about the lockdowns. Gavin Newsom is locking down most of California. He's trying to close indoor restaurants, I believe, gyms, a bunch of authoritarian, tyrannical stuff. I'm not quite sure. I'm not a legal expert, but I know that he lost in court recently where he lost his power to do crazy executive order stuff, but I guess he's just still doing it. Not quite sure how that works. Maybe we should get a lawyer on the show one time to talk about that. But that's the story of the day. I want to talk about the lockdowns. And one thing that I won't do as people come in, I'm not going to BS you like a lot of these Republicans and GOP people. I mean, everybody serves a purpose. It's all love for me. But I'm tired of these one-liners. I'm tired of these like, ooh, what's going on? They're hypocrites. Like, we know. You know, I showed you. I got the video on communism. I showed you what they're doing. The World Economic Forum, Washington Post talking about hundreds of millions potentially starving. They know that the cure, so to speak, as Trump called it, could and is probably definitely at this point worse than the virus itself. Yes, the virus is bad, but with the data from the lockdowns and the bad effects of the lockdowns, and now they're going to wipe out thousands upon thousands of more businesses. I'm not going to BS you with these one-liners. We got to talk about it. What's really going on? And I'm really fed up. I don't get angry. I don't get upset. I'm a very non-confrontational person. If you've noticed, I think probably one of the chiller people on here. But I mean, just leave me alone. That's all I want to do. I'm on a beach. I'm at my house. I'm looking at plants. I enjoy the finer things in life. I like hummingbirds. And these people just can't leave me alone. They won't let me work out. And then they're claiming that they're helping my health. I mean, you look at the LA County lady. She looks literally like a ghost. No offense. I guess, well, technically, I think the media doesn't care if you hate on people for lack of melanin. It seems to be their thing. They just hate white people. But, no disrespect. God bless my albinos out there. God bless my extremely white people, black. We got all ethnicities. But I'm just saying, she looks very unhealthy. She doesn't look white like, oh, she was born white. She looks like, she had the soul sucked out of her or something. She hasn't worked out since 1996. So it's like she's going to help my health. And Gavin Newsom and, de Blasio and these people are going to help my health by closing down gyms. This is just disgusting. We're going to chat about it. We're going to wait about a minute for everybody to come in live. But real quick on Facebook, actually, we're just going to jam out a little bit. I'm going to pin this to the top real quick. It's my email list, my BitChute, all my stuff. Let's hit pin. Got it.
Crazy listening to Alex Jones. That a city shutting down and you can't leave out your homes. Look out for the drones, they come in with the tanks. This happens when the media is working for the banks. Now everybody cast away like Tom Hanks. Looking at his Instagram, it really makes you think. Flow like an animal, they try to say I'm a radical cause I'm cool like Barry Manilow. They be some cannibals doing rituals, it's magical. Taking money out your capital, yeah. Predatory loans, taking out your home, take a vaccine, chill. I don't want a pill, this is not a drill. I don't want a chip, I don't want a deal. I'll be independent, I like my amendments. I don't want to bend it, I don't want to sentence. I am on a vengeance, I will not regret it. I am not defenseless, all my friends protected, yeah. We let the enemy get too friendly. Now we quarantine like Julian inside the embassy. Pray.
All right, so real quick before I start, to YouTube, to Facebook, follow me on Parler at Dream Rare. Same as my Instagram at Dream Rare, Parler at Dream Rare, Twitter, Legendary Energy, Facebook, Anomaly, YouTube, Anomaly, BitChute, /Dream Rare. Search Dream Rare, all one word, to find my channel. This is important because what they're going to do is shut down people's networks. They've already done it on Facebook. I used to get millions of views on every video because they're good and people share them. Now they've cut my reach. So now I'm getting 50,000 views, 100,000 views. This is still good, still better than most people, but it's not natural. It's not organic. They're shutting down my network. And this is what they're doing. First, they went for Alex Jones and everyone said, he's a conspiracy theorist, Sandy Hook. And then they went for this person. Then they went for this person. Then they went for this person. And now you have them shutting down people's PayPal accounts, shutting down people's social media, censoring the president of the United States, censoring Rudy Giuliani. Lawyers are not allowed to speak. White House health experts like Scott Atlas are not allowed to speak. And I'm not, once again, we don't get scared here. Don't be scared, be prepared. And I added be aware. And if you can find another rhyming word for that, we could add another one. But Don't be scared, be prepared and aware. I'm not trying to frighten people like the media. Oh my God, coronavirus, don't see your family, don't go to Thanksgiving, don't go to Christmas, shut your business down. Let us take it over with the technology companies. Oh yeah, that's really gonna help me. Thank you so much for shutting the gym down. Oh yeah, I can't wait to not see my family for 5 years as your friends swallow up all the businesses and then you control them and then you kick people out of the business. This is their plan, guys. And before I even start, first of all, I'm so against the lockdowns in California and across the country. It's not even funny. I think people get that now by watching my stuff. They're going to shut down businesses. Thousands upon thousands more businesses are going to go out of business unless they don't listen. In certain parts of California and in the country, people just don't listen. And guess what? If enough people just don't listen and run their business, they're not going to do anything about it. They do something if only Ian Smith does it. If Ian Smith is the only, gym in New Jersey who shuts down, then they fine him $200,000. But if 100 gyms did it, they don't have the capacity to do that, folks. I'm just saying. That's just a fact. In general, they're going to wipe out businesses. First of all, I just worked out at a gym, and I'm a pretty mentally strong person. I mean, I have my bad days like everybody else, but I'm in the gym and I feel bad because I'm talking to a kid that's younger than me, and he says, a lot of people are committing suicide. Did you hear suicides are on the rise? And he was basically like really sad because he works out not just for his physical health, but he works out for his mental health. Okay, working out, exercise, this stuff's good for your mental health. And he was like sad to me. He was like kind of hinting to me that he's really depressed when he can't work out. This doesn't even count. Of course, there's going to be millions of people who are more depressed. Millions of people who have no social action, millions of people who lose their jobs, millions of people who get fatter, millions of people who turn to opioids and bad habits, millions of people who are going to be affected negatively. This is on record. But also, there's real data coming in. This is to Gavin Newsom. He looks like the devil out of a movie, and he acts like the devil. But on top of that, we have real concrete data that shows that this virus is killing hundreds of thousands of people. I believe it was The Guardian put out. Thank you, Victoria. I appreciate it. The Guardian put out an article that said, and you could Google it, just Google tuberculosis 400,000 coronavirus, and you'll find the Guardian article, mainstream news, that 400,000, in excess of 400,000 people died of tuberculosis that wouldn't have normally died of tuberculosis because they don't have resources. Everybody's running in circles around COVID. It's like the same when they shut down hospitals, and I'm going to tell you one of their tricks. I know all their tricks. They shut down hospitals for 2 or 3 months. Thousands of people miss cancer screenings. I know somebody personally, a friend of a friend that he was very close to, told me that they missed a cancer screening. Then when they opened up the hospitals and allowed elective surgeries, which is also really important surgeries, he found out he had a cancer and he was further in the stage than he normally would have been. And I believe he died. So they killed that person because they didn't allow him to check his cancer screening. So this is not like a cute little thing. I'm tired of these liberal hypocrites, and I'm tired of these GOP one-liners. Like, oh, what's going on with the Mueller report? Yeah, like we get it. They lie all the time. They're hypocrites. People are dying. I get it. We get it. You get it. I get it. We don't. It's okay to make a one-liner, but they play dumb all the time. They're like, what's going on? It's almost like, no, they don't listen. But we need to solve it now and stop playing stupid. If we play stupid all the time, we're never going to solve it. But in general, I'm tired of these liberal hypocrites and even some Republicans. I guess Utah's doing a mask mandate, but they keep acting like they're so nice, like as if the playing field in their head is like, in my world, we shut everything down. Your business gets destroyed. Your finances get destroyed. But everybody survives, and we live this peaceful life. I'm such a great person. Like, there's no negative effects whatsoever to my plan. Only you might lose some money. Like, that's the fake narrative that they feed everybody. Like, I'm nice. I'm safe. I'm saving lives, and you're killing everybody. 400,000 people in The Guardian died in excess because of not the coronavirus, because in how we handled the coronavirus. Dead, literally dead. The Washington Post is writing articles about hundreds of millions of people potentially starving because of the coronavirus shutdowns. Nothing's functioning properly because of the coronavirus shutdown. So this is not the playing field. I'll have a conversation about it. You could say you like lockdowns. I could say I don't like lockdowns. You could say you like masks. I'm going to say I don't like masks. But what we're not going to do is have this playing field of I'm the bad guy and you're the perfect, beautiful angel that could never even hurt anybody. That's not the truth. And there's no data on the planet that says lockdowns are working. I'm going to repeat this until it gets into people's heads, and then they can go look up articles themselves and they can share it with their friends. Don't take my word for it. Don't even just share my video. Show your friends the article. Peru, first of all, they just cooed the president of Peru, a bunch of Peruvians, because, we got supporters all over the world now. They're hitting me up like, talk about what's going on in Peru. They used coronavirus to coup the president, and all the people are pissed because he was a very popular president. Sound familiar? But Peru did the world's strictest lockdowns, literally the world's strictest lockdowns. And you can find articles saying they have the world's worst results. I'm even more accurate than mainstream media. I'm not going to say they have the world's worst results. I'm going to say they're top 3 because I know the stats nearly by definition now. I look it up. San Marino, small area, has more deaths per capita. And now Belgium, which also had a lockdown and has a lot of restrictions, now they're number 2 in worst deaths per capita. So I'm even more accurate than mainstream media. But they say worst lockdown, strictest lockdown, most deaths. I say strictest lockdown, top 3, because I actually, I don't want to overstate it like they do, but there is no such thing as like strong lockdowns equal everybody lives and grandma survives. Like, no, strong lockdowns equal a lot of people die. Argentina they call it, if you Google Argentina world's longest lockdowns, tell me what you find. Don't just believe my word for it. Argentina had the longest lockdown, and guess what? They constantly got worse and worse and worse and worse in deaths per capita, and now they're in the top 10, even worse than the United States, worse than Sweden, worse than dozens of countries with the world's longest lockdown. So Gavin Newsom, Lori Lightfoot, aka Bolshevik Beetlejuice, Devil Boy Dan Rather, who lied in 2000 about the election, said you could take it to the bank, and now is lying in 2020, like as if he has a flawless record of calling elections. Where is the data? Where's the data that says lockdowns work really well and not locking down kills 100 times as many people? And this is something, obviously, I like Trump. I support him in his election endeavors 100%. But here's what I'm going to tell you. He's even been lying about this. I'm not trying to call him out. I like him. I support him. I think he got cheated. But he lied. He said millions of people would have died if I didn't lock down. And then you have Democrat news saying millions of people would have locked down, but you did it wrong. And then you have the health act. They're all saying that. Trump, Democrats, Republicans who just regurgitate Trump because they don't have a mind of their own. There is no data. I'm going to say it one more time. There's no data in the entire world that shows if you don't lock down, 100 times as many people died. If you don't lock down, millions of people would have died. If you don't lock down, there's going to be all these excess. Where? What country? There is no data that says that. Not a single one. The worst country, which is a small province, San Marino, lockdown. Belgium, second worst in deaths per capita, which is death scale to population side. Lockdown. Peru, world's strictest lockdown, third in death. There is no country that's doing worse than the lockdown country. It doesn't exist. It's a fake narrative. And what I'm going to tell you is different from these GOP one-liners. They know what they're doing. It's like, oh, what are they doing? They're hypocrites. We know that they're doing the Great Reset. I was reading it earlier today. Actually, to be honest, I fell asleep. I brought the book. I've read it. I just brought the book. I just want to be accurate. I fell asleep. But I have read, 1/4 of the book so far. Klaus Schwab, who's the founder of the World Economic Forum, he wrote the book, The Great Reset. And then Justin Trudeau says, Great Reset. And they're all saying, time to heal, Great Reset. And everyone says, I thought that was a conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory, folks. They're writing full books about the Great Reset. World Economic Forum, which hosts Davos, where George Soros and all these bigwigs go to talk. The World Economic Forum, these are the same people. And before I say this, people, please fact check me. Please, when your friends say, oh, Anomaly's crazy, fact check what I'm saying. Google it. The World Economic Forum gave George Soros a platform to speak in 2020, earlier before the coronavirus scare. And he said, you're facing economic doom. Trump, the economy is not going to last forever. And then in 2019, this sounds crazy, but just literally Google it. Something called Event 201, World Economic Forum, Johns Hopkins University, who's behind a lot of the coronavirus health expert stuff, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation hosted a simulation of a coronavirus. Isn't that just interesting timing? In October, November of 2019, they just happened to host a coronavirus pandemic. I mean, they've been talking about it for years, but they simulated a coronavirus pandemic that spread bats to pigs or something. I don't remember what they said, but then they laid out a blueprint for everything that they would do. So they didn't have to guess what they would do. They weren't winging it. Like some people are like, oh, they're just doing the best thing that they can. They had this plan and they did it. It's on YouTube. You can watch Event 201, World Economic Forum, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Johns Hopkins. They had a plan. This wasn't an overreaction to the coronavirus. They had the plan. The coronavirus came, and then they implemented the plan that they broadcasted on YouTube last year for coronavirus. This sounds nuts what I'm saying, but literally just look it up, and you can find it was made in 2019. So I'm not saying anything that they're going to ban me for, but what I am saying is they overreacted because they had it all planned out. So as soon as it came, like, oh, this is our plan, where it's like, well, did you even check to see if that coronavirus was as bad as the coronavirus you planned for? Because it wasn't, but they did the plan that they wrote. And if you go even further back, these same groups, World Economic Forum, you could find out that they planned in 2016. I did a whole 2 videos on it. It's the communist video and then the next video. In 2016, they're planning the I think they call it the 4th industrial revolution, or like economic. They have all these words for it. If I were to just say them, you'd be like, oh, you're a conspiracy. What do you listen to, Alex Jones? It's like, no, it's on their website, folks. They're like bragging about this. It's like world shift, new world. Like they use these same terms, and they wrote about a communist government. I have, it's probably one of my best videos I've done all year. You can see I go through Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto and the World Economic Forum and all these liberals and Democrats and UN, EU type people. I go through everything they're doing. It's everything out of the Communist Manifesto. It's not like an overstatement, like, oh, everybody's a Nazi and a communist. No, like they're literally communists. They're doing every single thing that he wrote. They want no privacy. They want no private property. They control the banks. They want to control all media, and they take, and they want everything. They want a society where you own no private property, you own no car, you have nowhere to go, you have no way to escape. They own everything, and in their heads, or at least what they're telling people is, if no one owns anything, this is, first of all, before I get into it, this is why they're destroying your business. I could sit on Twitter like a Republican and be like, oh, the hypocrisy. It's like, it's not random, folks. No one's calling it out, and I don't have to be a theorist to call it out. They wrote it. It's in their books. It's on their website. They want total control of everything. So coronavirus comes around, and they start implementing all their plans. The Great Reset. They're trying to destroy all physical businesses that they don't control. And guess what? I run an online business. Guess where I run my online business? Guess what I need? Without Facebook, I can't run it. Without YouTube, I can't run it. Without PayPal, my friend Jaden just got his PayPal taken down, I guess, because he says edgy jokes and he exercises his First Amendment. So now he doesn't have a PayPal. So if they take away your PayPal, they take away your Facebook, they take away your, Shopify or whatever store you have, you don't have a small business online. So like probably over 50%, if not 90%, 95%, once you add in PayPal, maybe it's 99%, almost all online businesses run off of these services. You can't run an online business if you don't have one of these things. And if you end up doing it off of their servers, like bitchute.com, BITCHUTE, then they start attacking your server and going after your advertising sponsors. They're ruthless. They want to control everything. It's not random. So what I'm saying is this lockdown, the virus, it's not good. I don't think viruses are good. The flu's not good. COVID-19 is not good. Pneumonia is not good. Cancer is not good. No disease or virus is good. I think they're all bad. But you can't hide from it. But also, they're using this as a Trojan horse to take all your physical businesses away. They already own almost everything on the internet. That's why I want you to follow me on Parler. Seems like something they don't own, but they'll probably get it somehow. But physical businesses, they don't own your restaurant. They don't own your mom and pop shop. They don't own your store that competes with Amazon. But guess what? In 5 years, they'll own the lot that you used to, that you can't afford anymore because Trump and Pelosi gave you $1,200 or something and a small business loan. Now you owe the banks or something. They're trying to take out your business. And I want people to research this stuff, because it's like, I'm not going to sit here and act like some of these Republicans and just be like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I mean, oh my goodness, the hypocrisy. Or these liberals, or these, people who got duped by COVID, the nice conservative people who got duped. They're like, oh my God, the virus, I need to stay inside. You're going to have no business, no freedom, no private property, no car. This is literally what they want to do. It's not my opinion. They wrote the plan 6 years ago, and they're implementing every step of the plan. So before I get into even the lockdowns and stuff, this is what they're doing. I can't just sit here and act like I don't know. I know exactly what they're doing. And what they're going to do is slowly pick off one person by one person. They've already done it. And they're going to start kicking people off PayPal and off Facebook and off Twitter and off Instagram. They've already cut my reach off Facebook. Now I'm crushing it on Instagram. Now I'm getting like 300, 400,000 views on Instagram. It's not even really a video website. And I'm getting like YouTube and Facebook numbers bigger than 99% of celebrities on Instagram. So they're probably going to cut that. And then they're going to come for the PayPal. And then they're going to come for this. They've already gone that path for thousands of people. And they're going to slowly do that until they control everything. So if you run a business, if you're, think you're just going to sit and like wait out this storm for 3 years, this is not random. This is their plan, and they're implementing everything that they wanted to do. On that note, with the lockdown, what is the science of shutting down a restaurant? What is the science of allowing 50,000 people, I don't know, to celebrate the Laker game? That's fine, but you can't put 20 people in a restaurant. What's the science of wearing a mask for 15 seconds before you sit down? I'm going to wear my mask for 15 seconds, and then I'm going to take it off, and then I'm going to sit next to 6 people who don't have a mask on. What's the science behind that? Guys, there's no science behind that. It's a joke. What's the science behind I can sit in a plane with 300 people, but I can't run my business with 10 people or 2 people or 5 people, whatever it is? I can't go work out, but I can order high fructose corn syrup drinks on Amazon and just get fatter and get diabetes. Is that going to be healthy for me? They're killing people, the economy, businesses purposely. Not random, not a mistake. They're not experts. Do you think a serious health expert would say, don't gather to protest the lockdown, but if you want to just burn down your neighborhood for George Floyd, I mean, I guess you can do that with 30,000 people because racism's a bigger, like, this is not science, folks. This is communism. They want the riots. They want any way to get rid of your private property. If they can't steal it, why not just let someone else burn it down? Communists don't believe that you own anything. And these groups, the World Economic Forum is one of the most powerful global communist groups, disguising itself as like environmental and liberal and edgy. And they've written this stuff. So I just want people to know it. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and figure out, even in my community and where I live and in neighborhoods, talk to people, talk to businesses. I'm going to go out there and talk to people at the gym and be like, listen, they get away with this stuff when everybody just lays down and lets them be like, okay, but if thousands of people don't listen, they can't do this stuff. And they're going to wear you down until you don't have anything. This is literally their plan. This is literally what they've written. It's not a theory. And the deaths from shutdowns is more than they're saving. There is no data anywhere that I've seen in cities, masked states, liberal cities. What are the two? And I get fact checked. This is why they shut my Facebook down or made it worse so people couldn't see it. Where's the data that shows that, Republican states are doing so bad? In deaths per capita, which is probably the only metric that matters, deaths per capita, New York and New Jersey are still doing the worst. In the world, it's all lockdown countries that are doing the worst. Countries that didn't lock down are doing literally better. Not 10 times worse, 2 times worse, 100 times worse, 1,000, better. There is no data that says that their way works. They just write propaganda like Chris Cuomo books about it or something, or whatever his name is, the other Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, and then people just believe it. And I'm just so annoyed by this stuff, folks. I'm going to read some super chats and I'll get back to where I was. Carl's opinion said CDC last year at this time said 2% of people test positive for the flu. This year it's only 0.3%. Hey, anomaly. Thanks, Carl. That's actually exactly what I want to talk about. So I'm going to read this one too. Birdie Cracker, thanks, brother. He said, Corinthians 11:7. He said, a man not ought to cover his face, for he is created in the image and glory of God. Love that, Birdie Cracker. So with the flu, I want to talk about this. And they don't want anybody to talk about this, but this is just basic common sense. Do you know what the winter time is called for the flu? It's called the flu season. Winter is the flu season, folks. That means every November and December and January and February, the flu gets worse. Most common colds and flus, they get worse. It's been this way my whole life. I'm guessing it's been this way since the 30s and the 40s. That's when they made the flu vaccine. That doesn't seem to be stopping the flu, but I guess 70 years, no stoppage of the flu. Keep trying, keep evolving that. And I guess I'm supposed to just get this one, and it's going to go away. But the one from 1942 still hasn't eradicated the flu. But the point I'm getting to is flu season is where people get common colds and flus. So I said this 5-6 months ago. I'm like, they're going to shut things down in November and December. They're like, I'm not trying to be like a know-it-all, but I remember my people were like, after the election, they're going to stop doing this. A lot of people said after the election, they're just doing this till the election. I'm like, no, guys, it's going to go up in November and December because every common cold, every coronavirus, every flu, it's flu season. So the cases are going to go up. And I told people in March, April, May, June, they're counting cases. So if they're counting cases, how could they not go up in flu season? That would be like a miracle unless it just disappeared. They're going to go up so they're counting cases. If they counted flu or anything else, it's like, oh, there's more cases, so we have to shut down now. This is insane. cases are up and deaths are down. That's a good thing. You don't want people to die. Cases are up, cases are up, cases are up. Where are cases going to go? The flu vaccine's been around since 1942, and the flu's gotten worse in the last 5 or 10 years. And I'm supposed to believe that every couple months I'm supposed to shut down when the cases surge, even though the cases surge with every known virus, common cold, and coronavirus during the winter season? This was inevitable. This is insane. And I hope I'm going to put myself out on a limb here. I tried to watch myself. I did flawless reporting. I'm not saying like I'm perfect, but I'm saying flawless as in I'm not lying. I'm not making up stuff. I'm quoting mainstream sources. I did it to the books, and they still took my reach away on Facebook. So if you don't see my videos, there's a reason. They've cut my reach by like 95%. Like it's nearly impossible to see my stuff anymore. The only way you could do it if I go live or you get lucky and see it, just check my page on every day on Facebook or go to BitChute or Parler or anything. But I played to the books, and they screwed up my Facebook reach because I was too big. I got 600 million views. I was reaching 10, 20, 30 million people a week. So they had to take it away. And I'm still doing pretty big numbers, but not nearly that because they've made it literally impossible to do. But they don't want people to know this stuff, and they're just going to keep doing it. So please, I'm going to put myself out on a limb because they've already taken a lot, and I'm sure they're going to take more away. But I am going to figure out a way, tell as many businesses as I know, as many people as I know, this continues when everybody just plays along with it. You know, at a certain point, I want businesses across the country to know this is all to their books. They want to kill your business. They want to kill the economy. They want to kill this country. And their idea of a global utopia is the same big tech liars who lied about the 2016 election. These people that lie about everything. They can't run San Francisco. They ran San Francisco into the ground. They can't run Los Angeles. They ran Los Angeles into the ground. Rudy Giuliani fixed up New York and made it nicer. Now they're making New York shitty again. They've made every city and every state that they've controlled has gone into the gutter, but they want you to believe that if you give them all their power, all the control, all the government, all the tech companies, all the physical property and digital properties, that they're going to create a utopian society where you don't have to buy food, you don't have to have a car. They'll just do it all for you. Does anybody trust these people? The same people that can't even run San Francisco, they're going to run the entire world. San Francisco is a clean city 10 years ago. It's a dump now. I wouldn't go there if people paid me. And I'll book you for a speech to come out there. You can't pay me enough money to get out. You got to pay me $1 million to fly out there. You pay me a couple thousand, I'm not going. I'd rather lose the money than even go there. Even Los Angeles, I lived there for 7 years. You can't pay me enough money to go back to that city. It's got to be something special. It's like, I don't want to go there because the liberals who run this stuff, the big tech companies and the Democrats, they run it into the ground. They don't understand how to stop crime. They don't understand how to run a business, but it's not random. And I'm just going to say this. I'm going to read a super chat. If I thought they were just stupid, I used to think that. Now I'm reading their books. Here, I'll show you one real quick, and then I'm going to read that super chat. This is a book, and I've said this a few times, but I'm just going to show you again. This is a book on Bill Gates' reading list a few months ago, okay? It's called How to Lie with Statistics by Daryl Huff. I believe it's from 1942. Strangely enough, if that is true, let me see, 1942. Let's see. No, 1954. Okay. I was going to say it's around when the flu vaccine was created. But anyway, How to Lie with Statistics. He actually talks about vaccines in the book, which is crazy. So How to Lie with Statistics on Bill Gates' reading list. It's a book that's been around for 70 years or so. This book, literally, if I quote this book or I say, hey, I just post what the book says, I would get censored on Facebook. I would get censored on Twitter. Bill Gates and all his friends would call me a conspiracy theorist. This was on his reading list. They think people are stupid or they're just too busy with their families or something. Like, this book says in it, essentially, it makes an argument for why vaccine companies are skewing the data. In this book, literally, from 1954, it talks about how vaccine companies are skewing the data. It talks about how polls are fake. It talks about how advertisements are fake and how easy it is to manipulate data or keep doing study sets until you get the numbers that you want. I'll give you an example. If I say 9 out of 10 doctors agree with me, if you do enough if you do enough doctor sets of 10 people, eventually you're going to get 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10, because if you flip a coin, it's supposed to be 50% heads, 50% tails. But if you only do 10, flip a coin 10 times. You're very rarely going to get 5 and 5. You might get 6 and 4. You might get 7 and 3. You might get 8 and 2. And if you get 8 and 2, you can say 8 out of 10 doctors agree. So these are the games that they play. It's called How to Lie with Statistics. And this was on Bill Gates' reading list. Now, if I tell you to read this, or I read from it, I read a chapter from it, they'll take my video down. They'll destroy my whole life. They could close my PayPal account, for reading the book that they told me to read about how to lie with statistics. And this whole year is how to lie with statistics, how to lie with the media, how to skew data and lie about data and cover up certain things and make certain charts that sound crazy even when they're not real. The whole book is about that. And this is not like a book I found. I found it because Bill Gates told me to read it. Now, if I read from it, they'll call me a conspiracy theorist. These are the sick games that these people play. It's insane. And they've used a bunch of this BS to shut the whole society down. But once again, I'm gonna read your super chat. Sorry. I just want to let people know I don't have all the answers. I'm gonna do my best to do what I can. But don't let anybody tell you this is random or they're doing their best. They have books. I have it over there. They have entire books, entire articles, entire conferences to talk about what they want to do. The fourth industrial revolution. They want you to own nothing. The big tech companies, the Democrats, and the puppets on the right wing want to control everything. They believe in this utopian society that's going to turn the entire country and the entire world like a dump, like San Francisco or Los Angeles. Because how is it going to work when they can't even do it on a small scale? They live in the hills of Silicon Valley or Los Angeles, and everybody else has to deal with the homelessness, the drug problems from their big pharma companies. I was watching Price is Right the other day. I love Price is Right, and someone I was with hadn't seen it. So I was like, let's watch Price is Right, Bob Barker. So we watched an old video of Price is Right from the 90s, and the commercials were way more chill. You had a few pharmacy commercials, but like the commercials, you watched them, they were funny, they were selling you stuff, Radio Shack, J.C. Penney's. Nowadays, when you watch commercials, it's so toxic. You should know why these networks, including Fox News, don't tell you the truth. They're also, who's their biggest sponsor? Pharmacy pill, pharmacy pill, pharmacy pill, pharmacy pill. And you know what you see now that you never used to see in the 90s with Bob Barker? You see lawsuit, 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 pharmacy pill, lawsuit, pharmacy pill, lawsuit. What are the lawsuits for? The pharmacy pill that they told you to take 10 years ago. And then if I say that, I'm a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm watching your stupid cable puppet shows where every other commercial is either a pharmacy pill or a lawsuit to sue the pharmacy commercial from 10 years ago. Or take this pill, but don't take it with a vaccine or you'll have side effects. Like this is every commercial. The whole media is disgusting and evil. And that's probably why these morons on television can't tell you the truth, because their biggest sponsors are the pharmacy company, and they probably have a stranglehold on the network. And if they say anything or question them at all, they lose $100 million. I don't know for sure, but sounds possible to me. All right, I'm going to read this. It says, I'm a legal immigrant from a small and usually poor socialist country, and now they use COVID to bring communism here. I can run. Can you, Americans? They're doing it all over the world. These are the global communists all over the world, whether it's individual leaders or groups like the World Economic Forum, the United Nations. They're using this as a Trojan horse to implement communism. And I've proven that with my last video, so I don't want to digress on it. But watch my video, go back to like 2 or 3 videos ago, and you can see 20, 30 minutes, I document it all. They're communists. They want communism. They brag about it, and then they shut down anybody who notices, because that's what communists do, and that's what real fascists and authoritarians do. They don't allow you to control it, which is why Karl Marx wanted 100% of the media, not to help you and help the working class. Do you notice something about what's going on? The working class hates the communists. The working class hates the liberals. Who wins every rural city? Who wins the truckers? Who wins the farmers? Who wins like the actual workers that provide you with everything that you can, survive in a city? You wouldn't be able to survive if it weren't for these workers. Most of them vote for Trump. It's not the liberals. They don't know how to run a society. It'll end up being like Chaz. They plant one crappy farm and then just beat each other up because they're a bunch of weirdos. And to be honest, one of the guys who hit somebody at the Million MAGA March, he had like child sex crime charges. What's up with all these Antifa types? It's like, there's a shocking number of them that have like pedophile or sex crime charges. It's like, are they the useful idiots for the higher level ones, or is this just random? Like every time it's like sex crime. It's like, do you guys do anything except for like burn down businesses and like diddle kids, like these freaking disgusting devils? All right, let me read this. One more question. How can big business support Democrats if they promise to raise taxes? I mean, if there's no collusion behind the curtain, supporting someone who promises to raise taxes doesn't make any sense. No, that's a good question. But in general, some people are useful idiots. Okay, so like smaller businesses and some Democrats, I think they don't understand how real it's going to get until it's too late, or they're so brainwashed that like it's like you're facing complete collapse and you still don't realize because your brain is just indoctrinated. Like, it's got to be a little bit of that, because some people, it's like Trump's a dictator. If I thought Trump was a dictator, do you think I'd want him to put a mask mandate on? Trump's a dictator. This dictator won't shut the country down and force everyone to wear masks. It's like you're begging for a dictator to put a mask on you and shut the country down. These people are brainwashed. At a certain point, I hate to be rude, but it's like, at what point are you like too brainwashed to return to normalcy? Because I'm not trying to be mean. There's people on the left and the right who are deceived. It's natural in politics. People get tribal, but like you think he's a dictator, but then you want the dictator to shut the country down. Like, if I thought Biden or Trump was a dictator, I'd be like, please don't shut the country down. Like, that's what a dictator would do. These people want a dictator to be a dictator, and they're like pissed that Trump isn't a fascist. It's the most bizarre thing ever. But at the smaller levels, people are just brainwashed. At the higher levels, though, this is what I'm saying, and this is my message to socialists, to communists, because believe it or not, I mean, they won't admit it, but I'm a hit in socialist circles. I go to the Women's March. I see women with socialist shirts on. They say, "Hey, Anomaly, I love your videos." I'm like, "You do?" I'm like, "God bless you. I appreciate you." Because I have a Golden Girl shirt on, so I'm very disarming. But I didn't do it to be that. I just like the Golden Girls. So I wore a Golden Girl shirt. And the socialists and communists are like, "Anomaly, we love your videos." I'm like, "Really?" But here's my message to socialists and communists and liberals and whatever you want to call yourself, progressive, who watch my video. The big businesses are all playing along. They're not stupid. They understand. Amazon's not going anywhere, okay? Walmart is probably not going anywhere. Facebook is not going anywhere. Google is not going anywhere. Uber and Lyft are not going anywhere. Some people are like, they're losing money temporarily. They're going to control the self-driving cars, and they're in the long term, they're not losing anything. So there's a reason that all of these big businesses are playing along. They're all killing it. They're all swallowing everything up. And if you have, $20 billion in liquidity or something, or $10 billion, you can afford to shut down for 6 months. If they say shut down for 2 years, you'll lose a couple billion, but eventually you'll make it all back. They don't care. So at the big level, they can afford to do this. It's like minimum wage. You raise minimum wage and make the government do it. Amazon can afford that. They don't do it, but they can afford it. The mom and pop shop can't afford it. So they can take the temporary hit. And they understand, and this is what progressives and socialists don't understand, is in a socialist society or in a communist society, there's going to be certain people who dominate everything. It's not like no one gets, "Oh, we're all going to share it." Who's going to be in charge of everybody sharing it? Somebody has to do something. Like Elon Musk says, he's like, he doesn't like the socialists because he's like, if I don't produce stuff, there is no stuff. Like, someone has to make it. Okay. So at a certain point, the government is going to merge with Amazon, and it's going to be one system. They already are. Look at, and Josh Hawley, I think, is talking about, calling out Zuckerberg, but he's saying, that we have proof that they all censor together, which is, the government is like a year late. When Alex Jones got banned, he got banned on Twitter, YouTube. He got banned on almost everything within the same day. They all work together, all the social media companies, and they come up with the plot. You're banned, and they wipe you off of everything at once. They're all working together. All the social media is working together. Almost the entire mainstream media is working together. New York Times, Washington Post, MSNBC, CBS, ABC. They're all in it together. So you get what I'm saying? You're not a threat. The socialists think that they're a threat to the big business. You're only a threat to the big business, to small business. The big business swallows up everything. So like, you might bankrupt $1 billion business, but the $100 billion businesses are going to steal everything. So like, average wealthy people from $1 million to $100 million, yeah, they're going to hate you. You're going to wipe them out, but you're not going to wipe out Jeff Bezos. You're not going to wipe out Bill Gates. You're not going to wipe any of these people businesses out. They're going to take it. So that's what's going to happen under socialism. That's why Amazon supports it. It's a great question. Why would they support it? Because communism isn't really for the working person. I read the book. I read their things. Total control of communication, total control of the media, total control of transportation, total control of banking. They are taking everything, and you're never going to get it back. I'm sorry. That's just not going to happen. That's why you should like freedom and liberty. Because if they take away private property, you have nowhere to go. You have nowhere to hide. Imagine if Facebook is the only thing. Well, I want to it's just a private entity. That's what they say. Libertarian, it's a private entity. Go to just make your own Facebook. Well, now when you make your own Facebook, Apple takes you off. And they're going to keep consolidating to the point where you can't escape. So then you have no freedom. This is what they're trying to do. So the big businesses, they see no threat to communism. That means they become the ruler. You become nothing. They control everything. You have nothing. They merge and form a technocratic class of super elites. And all you did was bankrupt any decent millionaire who was actually trying to oppose them. Ali Alexander says it's not even that most of these globalists are geniuses. They just think you're all too stupid to pay attention with their own words and content. Use words as weapon, much love anomaly. That's exactly what it is. I'm going to repeat this again. Maybe you could check out this book. It's from 1950s. If I read this book, sorry, the light needs to adjust. How to Lie with Statistics. Bill Gates put this on his reading list. It talks about things that I'm not allowed to say. They do think you're stupid. They're like, read this book, but if you repeat what the book says, we're going to ban you from Facebook because, you know, you can't say that or think that. But I'm going to tell you to think it, and then you're not even going to be allowed to say it. Like, most people don't care. You know, they're just like, oh, this is all right. I'm gonna read a few of these. Sorry, Trey. Thank you, Miriam. I appreciate you. How can we win this fight when toxic Marxism is prevalent in seemingly every facet of our society? Where's the path to success? That's a good question, Trey. But once again, I did this last live stream. I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the solutions, but I am calling on people to do one of two things. And you could do whatever you want. I don't control your life. But two things that really tick me off in the freedom conservative movement, and people get mad when I say this, but I'm tired of these moderate, like, GOP people who just act shocked all the time. I'm not going to name names, but it's like, oh my God, whoa, I didn't see that coming. What? Like, they're always shocked. So if you're always shocked, you're not accepting reality. It's like always being surprised. Even people message me all the time, oh my God, I can't believe this. And I'm like, believe it. It's real. We have to believe it, and then we could do something about it. If you don't even believe it and you're always angry and shocked by it, that's the first step. People need to stop doing that and stop following people who are just always shocked. Demand a solution or demand acceptance of what's really happening. And then, no offense to my, to the Q people, but it's like waiting to trust the plan is not the answer. You trust, oh, my enemies are going to get arrested at Gitmo. John Podesta's secretly at Gitmo. All you're doing is like denying reality and just trying to hallucinate that everything you want to happen is secretly happening, and only you're smart enough to know it because an anonymous agent told you on a message board. Like, you got to cut that out. You can believe what you want, research human trafficking, but like, if you're just going to sit there and celebrate things that never happened, it's a little weird. Like, you're not a libertarian or a conservative. You're like, oh, the secret lockdowns means the Gitmo and John McCain. It's like, tell yourself what you want, but you kind of become useless because you're just sitting there. Instead of realizing it's not happening and doing something about it, you're secretly pretending like it's happening when it's not, which is like super weird, and it kind of creeps me out. So once we get those people and the moderate GOP people to stop denying what's happening, not in a doomer way, like it's all ruined. It's like, this is what I'm saying to people. Like, this is what they're doing. It's no secret. This is their plan. This is their goal. They're not going to stop for years, so we have to accept it. Once we accept it, now we can figure out ways how to combat it. I have multiple solutions right off the top that will help if enough people do it. The first one is if enough businesses from New Jersey to California to Texas to whatever's North Dakota, and all in between, the United States of America, Alaska, Hawaii, if enough people say, I don't want to lose my business, I don't want to lose my shop, I don't want to lose my restaurant, I'm just going to go for it, and millions of people go for it, they're not going to stop you. They can't stop you. And in many cases, it's unconstitutional to stop you. It's illegal to stop you. They're just brainwashing people into thinking this stuff. So we have to do that. With the virus and the mask stuff, do you know how many people I see walking around with a mask outdoors? No one's forcing them to do it. They just do it. They brainwash people, and then they're walking outside with a mask on. Like, no one's forced it. They're doing that. So a lot of these orders, if you're Shelley Luther or other people, you take them to court, you win. They can't do this. Gavin Newsom in court, they ruled it was unconstitutional, and he didn't have the power to do executive orders. And he's doing them anyway. And guess what people are doing? They're listening. My building's shutting this down. They're shutting this down. They're shutting this down. If everyone doesn't listen, it doesn't exist. And in some cases, it's not even illegal. It's not like what I'm telling you to do is illegal. You could take it to court and find out how legal it is. And there's a chance that it's completely unconstitutional. A lot of times it is. So a lot of this is done just brainwashing people to listen to it. So my first solution is enough restaurants have to say enough is enough. I know personally, and I've seen in certain conservative areas in California, people don't listen, and no one does anything about it. You know why? Because the whole street doesn't listen. And I go and get for the election, I went and got like some White Claws or whatever for my friends. And I go in, and the guy doesn't have a mask on. He's in his business without a mask. And guess what happened to him? Nothing. I know somebody at my building right now that I'm friends with. He doesn't wear a mask. He's an employee who hasn't worn a mask for months. Guess what happened to him? Nothing. Okay, so if enough people do it, nothing happens. So that's an easy solution. Restaurants en masse need to reject this, and then they'll get away with it. But if only Ian Smith or Shelley Luther is there, then people get fined and they have to go to court, and that's fine too to a certain extent. But overall, people, this is my, I don't have all the answers in the world, but what I do know is people have to accept what's going on and stop being in one of these two groups where it's like the buzzword, like, oh, they lied. Like, yes, they're lying. This is what they're doing. This is how they're lying. This is what they plan to do. They're not going to stop. It's been 8 months. Cut the bullshit and let's have a plan. And same with, no offense to trust the planners, it's like you're secretly waiting for the big drop to come. Like, Trump's going to fight for the election, okay? Trump's going to fight for the country. You need to fight too, okay? He can't do everything for you. Clearly, he couldn't stop the lockdowns. And Emily, you don't understand. It's not Trump's fault. I didn't say it was his fault, but at the same time, he hasn't done anything. Well, it's the governors. Exactly. So what are you waiting for Trump to save you if it's the governors? Then you do something. It's like, I'm just secretly waiting for the plan to happen. It's like, stop, cut the bullshit. Believe in what you want to believe. But like at a certain point, cope with reality. Don't be a doomer about it, but then rise up in a peaceful manner and get results. I'm going to read this super chat. It said, what do you think about the timing of the news of Pfizer and Moderna's vaccine? Seems very suspicious right after the election. Well, of course. And I want to say two things about that. One, if I get coronavirus, my survival rating is above 99%. I mean, I'm probably I'm not the healthiest person in the world, but I'm pretty athletic. So my survival rating is probably 99.9999%. So if I get a Pfizer or Moderna vaccine, well, I have a 95. The virus, I have a 99.99% chance. So I'll take my chances with the virus. Anybody can do what they want to do. But yeah, of course, I mean, there's games that they're going to play. And of course, the vaccine companies and a lot of big pharma, a lot of them lean more left. No matter how much Trump does for them, they're still going to turn their back on Trump. I'll give you another example. Trump funded HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. He never got credit for them. The black community, I mean, some people did, don't get me wrong. There's thousands upon millions of black people who know he did it, but millions don't care. So he never got credit for HBCUs. And then you find one of the girls who attacked a Million MAGA marcher was from Howard University, which is a historically black college and university. So Trump funded historically black colleges and university. He did prison reform. He never got proper credit for it. And now he's raising a new generation of W.E.B. Du Boises, who, if you don't know, W.E.B. Du Bois was a communist. I mean, him and what's the other? I'm trying to think of the other guy in this time frame. I can't. Oh, Booker T. Washington. They always beefed because Booker T. Washington was more conservative, more honest. W.E.B. Du Bois was like a fake intellectual liberal communist. So Trump did all this stuff for them. They never give him credit. And the irony is he just funded a new generation of W.E.B. Du Bois style communists who are going to turn against him. So it's like he's just funneling money to colleges that are teaching people to be against Trump. So the point I'm getting to is like Trump just needs to do what's right because he can do anything for Israel. Bibi Netanyahu's not going to be loyal. He can do everything he wants for historically black colleges and universities. They're not going to be loyal to him. And he can do anything he wants with Operation Warp Speed. And the vaccine companies are not going to be loyal to him. So is it a shock that they did it right after the election? I don't think so. Is it going to be a shock when they finesse between dark winters and dark summers and lockdowns and opens and psychologically just, destroy people and then try to give Joe Biden credit for the economy that's booming? Those are the two options. Keep locking down or give him credit for something that he did because he just eases restrictions. These games are going to happen. And I want to say one thing too about the Moderna vaccine. Because I've talked about this a few times. I'm not somebody who sits here. First of all, you don't have to listen to me at all. You could just turn it off. But I'm not someone who sits here and tells people you're stupid for, thinking outside the box. I want people to think outside the box. I want people to research. I want people to be open-minded. But there's a saying that I've heard from the elders. Don't be so open-minded that your brain falls out. And I find that there's a lot of people in these like super truther movements. And trust me, you're not going to shock me with any theory. I'm the last one to think you're crazy. I believe a lot of stuff because I know it's real. But in general, I see there's certain truthers that just believe anything that they possibly can, like the Q-type people. It's not. I like that you guys are fighting human trafficking. I like that you guys are deep diving more than the average conservative. I love that. But I don't like the fact that you'll believe anything that comes in that makes you think that the plan's already being had instead of realizing that some things are going on behind the scenes, some things aren't, and eventually you're going to have to be part of the plan. And I'll give you an example. I heard from thousands of people. Every time I talked about it during Operation Warp Speed, they freaked out because they want to just believe Trump is agreeing with them 100%. So Trump says vaccine, and they say, oh, no, Trump is not giving a vaccine. He's secretly using the word vaccine for hydroxychloroquine. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, no, he's saying vaccines and what does he call it? Like therapeutics. But when he says vaccine, he means vaccine. Like there's some sort of sycophants that think like, if I don't agree with Trump, I can't come to grips that we disagree like human beings and friends. You don't even agree with your best friend or your parents on everything. So it's like, Trump must not mean vaccine when he says vaccine. That was a fake theory. And millions of Trump supporters like, when he says vaccine, he's secretly not saying the vaccine. It's like, no, he means vaccine. You just don't want to believe that. Get over yourself. Come to grips with reality. It's really creepy that you make up all these stupid theories among all the great ones. Like every theory is not stupid, but some are like a little weird. It's like you can think what you want, but like listen to you believe everything he says, but then you don't believe him when you don't want to believe him. Like something weird's going on. And then one of the main things I heard with the vaccine is anomaly. What do you think about the theory that Trump is rushing the vaccine to beat the Bill Gates' vaccine? He's doing Operation Warp Speed because he wants to get the vaccine out that's better for the people than the Bill Gates vaccine. So many people told me that, and they were like, and they're like, that's what they wanted to believe. You get what I'm saying? They say that because they want to spin everything that's happening and pretend like it's already happening. So they can't come to grips with like, okay, I love Trump, but I don't agree with him here, or I love Trump, but he can't do all this by himself. I'm going to have to help. They don't want to do that. They said, I love Trump, so everything that I want to happen must secretly be happening in Gitmo. So the point I'm getting to is Moderna is Bill Gates' favorite vaccine. Moderna is one that he funded. And then there's fact checkers like, fact check, Bill Gates didn't fund Moderna. It's like, he literally did. I mean, just look it up. It's his favorite vaccine. So there goes the theory. And Trump's bragging about Moderna too. So the point I'm getting to is Trump Operation Warp Speed was not a secret plan to get a vaccine faster than Bill Gates' vaccine. One of the funded vaccines that ended up making it to the top was the Moderna vaccine, the Bill Gates vaccine. So the point I'm getting to is not to hate Trump, but like stop making these stupid theories every time you don't want to come to grips with what's happening. Like, oh, I don't want to believe that what I want to happen. It's so selfish. It's like, oh, mommy, give me everything for Christmas. I don't have to do anything. I'm not a real boy. I'm just going to sit here at my laptop and Trump's going to wipe my butt for me. I don't even have to wipe myself anymore. It's like, no, like Trump's going to work really hard. He can't do everything. There's a game to be played. And eventually you're going to have to do something. I think, mommy, Trump would never do the vaccine I don't want him to do. He's secretly warp speeding past Bill Gates. Like, no, he's not. He's working with Gavin, which is a Bill Gates funded company. He never was doing that. I told people that in April. They got, trust the plan, Anomaly, trust the plan. No, you're wrong. It's okay. Human trafficking is real. Trump, I believe, is a good guy. You know, there's a lot of research that most average Republicans are not doing that you guys are into. I'm giving you all that. But as far as all of these other side theories are just like never the truth. It's like, it's not. Someone said, bye. I don't care. I'm just being honest. It's like, Bill Barr's going to save us before the election. No. Durham's going to save us before the election. No. The vaccine's a secret plan to not be a vaccine. No. Podesta's and Gitmo. No. No. Like, yes, no. That's what I'm saying. It's not like, I'm not saying, no, you're wrong about everything. That's not true. It's all fake. No, it's not true. But like your accuracy rating sucks because people believe anything that they want to believe. It's like every theory that I've seen. Okay, for instance, there's a million things going on with the mail-in ballots. And I told people this 2 weeks ago. Sidney Powell's fighting really hard. James O'Keefe is fighting really hard. Lynn Wood is fighting really hard. Rudy Giuliani's fighting really hard. I can only imagine how hard Trump is fighting. There's real people doing real things. Tom Fitton's doing some stuff. Sidney Powell, Jenna Ellis, Rudy Giuliani, Lynn Wood. These are people to keep your eyes on. They're the lawyers working for Trump's team who are going to make or break this election. These are very real. I would never deny that. But then the biggest theory 2 weeks ago was the watermarked ballots because people don't want to believe Sidney Powell is going to have a tough time, but she could pull it off. Rudy Giuliani is going to have a tough time, but he could pull it. That theory doesn't click with people because they want the easy route. It's like, mommy, give me everything. So they're like, did you hear the thing on InfoWars where they got the mail-in ballots and they're secretly already have the operation? It's already sealed. It's a done deal. We already got them. Ha-ha. Trust the plan. It's like, no, that was never real. Whoever told that was faking. It's a lie. You're going to see that's not the path that they're doing. Dominion voting, real. Mail-in ballots, real. Sidney Powell, real. Secret watermark that the CIA secretly did and they got him with the Bitcoin, fake. Not going to happen. Not going to come out. You get what I'm saying? It's like for some reason, truthers love the easy target. They want to just believe it's all being done for them. So they miss like the 30 real things going on. And then that becomes the #1 story in America. And it's so annoying because I'm like, I'm not someone to like put people down like, oh, you believe in stuff crazy. What's going on is really crazy. You know, the conspiracy theorists from 10 years ago was completely right. So is the conspiracy theorists from 2 years ago. The mainstream media does fake conspiracy theories all the time. Russia collusion, Ukraine, all they do is lie. So it's like they're the fake conspiracy theorists, but that doesn't mean, and this is what I want to get through, and then I'm going to read some comments. Just because you're a truther, just because you're on the side of Trump, it doesn't mean you can just make up anything and it's always right. Like, if I don't say the right thing, I retract it. These people, they're constantly wrong and they never apologize. It's the craziest thing. Like, if I'm wrong, I hope to be wrong about this. It's like, please be right. And then I can laugh hysterically in 2 weeks and be like, yo, I was wrong. The country's saved. We never had to do anything. I think we're going to be fine. But I'm just saying, it's like, I don't have it in me to just like be wrong constantly and never address when I was wrong. These people are wrong constantly. And then you call them out on it and they're like, do you not trust the plan? Did you not see what he said? Oh, are you working for Mossad? Are you a Mossad agent? Oh, are you a libtard? It's like, what are you talking about? I want the same thing you want, but I don't just believe anything that I read or hear because it sounds good. In my opinion, it seems to be almost like a trap. Like they're like there's a million things to deal with, and then they run you to the thing that isn't real, and then everybody runs with it. So I'm just getting to that on the vaccine point. It's like Trump has a plan, but his plan was never to not fast track the vaccine. He fast tracked the vaccine. That's literally was his plan. And his plan was never to outspeed Bill Gates' vaccine. He was working with Bill Gates on the vaccines. And one of the vaccines that Trump is bragging about is the Moderna vaccine that Bill Gates is heavily invested and connected to. So you get what I'm saying? It's like, it's not a bad thing that like, I'm not, and then they're like, oh, Anomaly hates me. Anomaly hates moms. And then they make up this straw man argument the other day, like, oh, so you want all the bad things to happen? You're cynical? Like, no, nothing about this is cynical. I want real solutions for real people. Trump will do his job. Giuliani will do his job. But we, the people, can't just celebrate like something secret's happening that only I can understand because my IQ is 10 million or something, and I read message board, but Ellen DeGeneres just can't fathom it. She's not smart enough, or PR. It's like, get over yourself. You know, like some things are real, some things aren't. Use critical thinking. Use common sense. Believe in what you want. Have faith. Pray. But don't celebrate things that never happen, or stop yourself, rather. Prevent yourself from being the solution because you follow the false solution that you think is there, but it's not. All right, let me see. Eric said, you're speaking logically and honestly, only it may be a psyop. Well, here's the thing. Everything in general, it's like a psychological operation. If you look at what that is, like the media is a psyop. Like it's a broad term, but it's like there's different things. There's pros and cons to everything. But yeah, for some people can handle it, and some people can decipher information, and they laugh at what I'm saying and say, Anomaly, man, I like it, but you're funny. That's true. And then some people bug out. And the irony is that the people who usually bug out are the exact people I'm talking about. And the people who don't bug out know exactly what I'm talking about. And then, come to grips with it. And they're like, that's true. It like, whether it's Trump, whether it's me, I don't want you to sit here and just believe every single thing I say. I earn your trust with accuracy. And I understand other people do that too, but like, check what I'm saying. And if I tell you to like, wait for this thing that's never happened, it's like, just don't believe it. Like, you don't have to believe what I'm saying. Research it, understand why it's working. It's not a bunch of puzzles like, oh, wait for the thing. And you're like, it's like, okay, I'm waiting for Bill Barr. TikTok, we're running out of time, Bill Barr. I'm waiting, I'm trusting. It's like, you don't have to. Haters gonna hate, and blind for some reason want to kiss our liberties away. Keep speaking truth. Thank you, Ryan. Can immigrants from socialist communist countries play a role in explaining the evils of socialism to American on the left? We have a lot to share. Absolutely. I think Jorge Masvidal did that. He's a big UFC fighter, perhaps one of the biggest. And he's been telling people how evil communism is. He's a big Hispanic fighter. I forget where he's from. Maybe Venezuela. Maybe I'm not sure. I don't want to overstate, but yeah, I think that's huge. But some people are stubborn, but others, yeah, I think that's very important. Is like people from socialist countries explaining it. I think that's why Biden lost Florida. A lot of Hispanics from Mexico, or like a lot of younger kids and stuff, like they don't understand communism, but the Cubans, like the Hispanic population in Florida is heavily Cuban, and it's very understood in those communities what communism did because it's so new for them. So I think that probably lost Democrats Florida for a while. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. John said, when Trump started pushing the vaccine and talking about the military delivering it, I started getting the creeps. Yeah, and I think you should. I think it's healthy. Listen, I like Trump, but 2 months during the lockdown, I was like, bro, what are you doing? You don't have to agree with it. And I think this is the difference between my thinking. You can be loyal. You don't have to be a backstabber, but we the people, these are elected officials. If they're locking the country down and saying, we're not going to let you be free until there's a vaccine, and then 7 months later they say, well, the vaccine's coming, but you still have to be in lockdown even with the vaccine. You don't have to just, be like, oh, well, it's Trump, it's my guy. It's like, no, if it's your guy, he should know this isn't right. People need to start putting pressure on their social media. Like, I love to see people get ratioed because it's like, that speaks. Votes, power, that's the power we have. Strength in numbers, peaceful protests. And also, like, I like you, but no, or like, what is this? What is this? You don't have to be like, oh, it's a secret plan to, like, so many of those were right. So many of those were wrong. So it's okay. But yeah, I don't see that being like a viable solution. People say, what's the solution? Businesses opening, businesses doing their thing, enough people doing their thing to the point where it doesn't work. And also people figuring out solutions as opposed to thinking the solution is already secretly done for them by a group that they can't figure out who it is yet. It's like that's not a solution. I know that much. Cara Toledo, keep fighting the fight. We're with you. Thank you. Someone said Trump is a good man. I think so. But this is, once again, I'm going to say this and move on. This is the difference. I think he's a good guy. I think he's proven that. But I don't have to wait for him. Like, to me, I don't know. Life is exciting. I didn't have to make a news station. I could have said, trust the plan. Tucker Carlson has my back. Like, yeah, Tucker does good work. But at the end of the day, I realized, like, the media does not do what I want to do. So I did it myself, and I created a huge news platform. I helped Brandon Straka get bigger. I helped Candace Owens get bigger. And they had a massive impact on their own. I had a massive impact on my own. Reached 600 million people with views. Reached over 1 billion people, and then millions of minds were shifted in a way. I believe it's more optimistic, peaceful, not stressed out all the time. Like, even right-wing news, they're always screaming at you, like, rah, 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 rah. It's like, I bug out. I listen to some of these people on Fox News. I'm like, they're freaking me out. I don't like the energy here. So I became the plan, and you could become the plan too. You don't have to start a news channel, but it's like, you get what I'm saying? We can trust Tucker Carlson, but also do our own thing. You could trust Trump and like Trump, but also do your own thing. And I'm not talking about you have to do it big, but I wanted to do it big. And some people, maybe, it's one little thing in your community, but one little thing in your community branches out. Like, you give good energy to the barista, that changes the barista's day, and then you never know whose day she changes, even if it's a smile. Something that simple, like outside of politics. The world works that way. Big things happen when millions of people do something, even if it's a smile or a compliment, like that branches out very, very quickly. And then everyone's not honking the horns and mad all the time. So at the end of the day, you get what I'm saying? It's like, you can trust Trump, but like, if you don't do anything at a certain point, it's, in my opinion, it's selfish. People think, oh, Anomaly, you don't understand the plan. It's like, I think you're selfish. I think you're jumping on Trump's back and treating him like he's Nikola Tesla time traveling. It's like, I've read the books. I see the theories. I'm not knocking you, but it's like, to you, you think you're like this super loyal person. To me, I think you're selfish. I'm like, you think Trump's going to do everything for him. You can't even cope with the fact that he can't combat the, big pharma and Democrats by himself. He can't do it by himself. I'm watching this guy. I feel bad for him. I'm like, he can't do it by himself. And you're like, he can do it by himself. I am just going to trust them. It's like, you think it's nice. I think it's extremely selfish. I'm like, he needs help. James O'Keefe helps. Tom Fitton helps. Sidney Powell helps. Lynn Wood helps. Some people do. Some people don't. I don't know. I'm like, I don't see it as like this nice thing. I'm like, you guys are really selfish. Like, let's let Michael Jordan win the game. Let's just sit on the floor and just lay down and yell at everybody who tries to like score points too. You don't have to do. It's like, no, do something. Ryan Michael said, Trump's racist only when he's president. Tucker, the man. You're right. You're also the man. Well, thank you. Well, I mean, the irony is Trump lost white votes. Like Trump gained black votes, Trump gained Hispanic votes. He got more minority votes than any Republican in like 50, 60 years or so. So the media is such a lie. The media is a psyop. Everything they say is a lie. If he's so racist, shouldn't he have lost black and Hispanic votes? No, he gained Hispanic votes enormously. He gained black votes. He lost white male votes because the GOP spends all their time just pandering to the black community, and sometimes not even that much to Hispanics, but it's like everything's a pander. So I'm sure a lot of white people felt left out because this even annoyed me. I'm part Hispanic, and I was at the Trump rally in Arizona, so I'm standing next to Latinos for Trump, and he's talking about the American Dream Plan is for Latinos. I was like, bro, the American dream is for everybody. So, this is what annoys me about the Trumps and the Charlie Kirks, no disrespect. They're like, the left does identity politics. The left hates you. But then it's like, you guys pander almost as much. Like the American Dream Plan is only for Hispanics. What about the white farmer or the white family that's losing everything and you have no plan for them? You have the platinum plan for the black community. You have the, American Dream Plan for Hispanics, and you don't even include other ethnicities in it. To me, that's very condescending and messed up. So it's not a shocker to me that he lost some white votes. What media channel, news company, magazine, newspaper deserves our time? Which ones are more or less fair, honest? Any sources you trust? That's the thing. I'm very skeptical. So I just have a good feed of I would say there's like a couple hundred journalists and news people and personalities that I like, and I don't fully trust anybody, but I like a lot of people. And I just filter it on my own. I can't say there's a certain news company that I like super trust everything they do. I like to get a good feed of like a couple hundred that aren't just completely liars. Like on the left wing, I like Glenn Greenwald. I don't like his politics. He's a socialist. He's kind of annoying with it, but he's also honest and does really deep diving reports on intelligence communities and elections. And, he has value. I've decided he's left wing, but he has value. If you don't have value, if you're just always lying, there's no value there. But I get the people on the left wing that have value, the people on the right wing that have value, and I just filter through it on my own because it's like, I don't just fully trust anybody. From Canada, I'm sorry you guys got your election stolen. Sometimes God plays tricks on us. It's all good. I mean, it's still in the works. It's still in the works. Thank you guys on Facebook. Thank you guys on YouTube. I appreciate you watching. I'm probably going to be here for 15 more minutes. And then I want to say a few things. Please follow me on parlor.dreamrare, DREAMRARE. You can follow me on Instagram too. If you have an Instagram, they seem to be blocking me less than Facebook, but the scary part is they're owned by Facebook. So I don't know how long that's going to last, but Instagram DreamRare, Parlor DreamRare, they're blocking me on Facebook. So if you like what I do, you have to manually check every day because they know my videos are effective. They know they're honest, and they've admitted that. So they've cut my reach on Facebook. So instead of like 2 million views and 100,000 shares, I mean, the numbers I was getting were insane. When they didn't rig my page, top 10, 100,000 shares, 200,000 shares. So they had to cut it. Now it gets 100,000 views, which still good, but it's not organic. So you got to follow me on other social media, Parlor DreamRare, Instagram DreamRare, YouTube Anomaly, AN0MALY. I need to say this because it's confusing. It's even confusing to me, but Anomaly, I'm going to tell you how to spell it real quick, and you'll know this forever. You could always find me somewhere. A as in apple, N as in Nancy, 0 as in the number 0, very important. M as in Mary, A as in apple, L as in Lisa, Y as in yo-yo. Anomaly, the O is always a 0. So if you search that, you can find me pretty much everywhere except for BitChute, because no offense, BitChute, their search engine sucks. They got to make that better, but I still love BitChute. But DreamRare, if you search on BitChute, you can find it. Yvette Naranjo said, I love your work. Don't stop. Miami in the house made me proud on November 3rd. Yeah, God bless Florida. You guys crushed. Cowboy Bear said, we don't need a jab. Sweat and sunlight is the cure. I got it in March and have pre-diabetic, pre-hypertension, and 100 plus overweight, 6'4", 350. I spent 2 weeks outside logging and didn't sleep when the virus wanted me to. I sweated out. Well, God bless you, Cowboy Bear. I hear you. I think having a strong mindset, like you said, when I used to get sick a lot, I stayed in the house. And when you shut down, it's good to rest sometimes. But when you shut your body down, in my opinion, it's like the virus telling you or like conquering you. when Trump got coronavirus, he didn't want to sit down. They were like, sleep, do this. But when I used to just sleep and not walk and I got strep throat, I'd keep getting it. I'd keep getting sick because like, it's like a car. You turn off a car in the winter and you try to turn it back on in the spring, it doesn't start. So you might want to get a little rest, but it's like, yeah, I'm glad you sweat it out. Like to me, I haven't been sick in like 2 or 3 years, like not at all. I feel a little weird and I sweat it out. I do this, I do that. I don't know about this just, laying down and like admitting defeat. I'm not sure if that works. So God bless you, Cowboy Bear. Thanks for sharing the story. Thanks for the super chat. Anomaly, Ron Paul Liberty Report. You got to check it out. I love Ron Paul. Ron Paul's a legend. I haven't seen his stuff recently, but yeah, crazy. Maxim said, why do you think Facebook banned you right after you made a video complimenting Zucker Biatch? That's a good question. It was bizarre timing. I mean, that was I was trying to butter him up a little bit because, and what I was saying is true. I'm not just going to lie because I'm doing well there, but I made a video and I got banned right after. I actually made the video trying to show that Zuckerberg was actually better than Wojcicki and Twitter at the time. Some ways he's not, but the top 10 people on Facebook were all conservative. So like liberals were putting pressure on him. The ADL, which is Anti-Defamation League, an international Jewish organization, they put a lot of pressure on him. A lot of these groups, international and domestic, were putting pressure on Zuckerberg, and he totally caved. I don't know. Right after I made that video, they banned me. I'm not sure why. I think before the election had something to do with it, the timing. I think coronavirus, and they wanted to do it before the election, before the second lockdowns. But it was shocking. I'm like, I just complimented you, and then you take my reach away. Very crazy stuff. But yeah, I think a lot of these groups got to him. And I do want to say this. I read an article about somewhere in Europe, they sued Zuckerberg and won. Basically, they sued Facebook and said that Facebook was liable for hate speech. Europe has crazy hate speech laws. So a lot of groups, and I'm not bailing Zuckerberg out, but he gets pressure all ways. And, like in Europe, the court ruled that Zuckerberg was liable for hate speech. Like he has to ban more people or else they're going to do something about it. So it's like he's got groups like the ADL, Europe, liberal communists, and, phony liberal organizations like the ACLU. They're all breathing down his neck, filing lawsuits, trying to complain. So he totally caved. But I don't think he really cares anyway. But yeah, it was suspicious timing and unfortunate. But I still stand by what I was saying before they cut me out. Like he was getting so much pressure because I was doing great. And like I knew it wasn't gonna last, but I tried to butter him up. I'm like, listen, the reason they hate Zuckerberg is because conservatives are outperforming liberals and they can't stand it. That was true. And it was true. So they put so much pressure. And eventually he just took the rug out from a lot of people. So it was probably inevitable, but I thought it was an interesting take. To me, it's the same as like Roger Ailes. I'm not a Fox News guy. I think Roger Ailes probably wasn't the biggest hero in the world, but they always like to demonize the one person that they can't control. Like it seemed like for a little while, Zuckerberg, they couldn't control. And even now there's things that they want him to do more that he won't do. If liberals had it their way, Facebook would be 20 times as bad as it is now, believe it or not. Like they're trying to push him further. So I get skeptical when there's all these Zuckerberg documentaries, there's no Bill Gates documentaries, there's no Susan Wojcicki documentaries. Why are they demonizing Zuckerberg so much? It's because even though clearly he's letting his website just get totally destroyed, I think they can't fully just puppet him. And I think Roger Ailes seemed to be like that. Listen, I'm not a Fox or Roger Ailes guy, but as soon as Roger Ailes died, Fox went down the tubes. So why are there all these Roger Ailes movies? Like, is Roger Ailes probably the greatest person to ever live? I don't know about that, but like, is he worse than Jeff Zucker from CNN or the new owners? Probably not. So they always like to demonize the one person in media that they can't control. And that's how they kind of socially engineer everybody to look that way. It's like, oh my God, all the liberals who watch Netflix are like, oh my God, Steve Bannon. Ooh, like Steve Bannon is a powerful guy, but Steve Bannon controls the internet. Steve Bannon's company, what is it, Cambridge Analytica, they rigged the election with data. Did Cambridge Analytica get data and use data in their advantage? Absolutely. Do you know who does it times 100? Facebook, Google, Twitter, Democrats. This is not, so that they always have to blame the one person who does it the least. Is Bannon innocent of everything ever? Is he? Probably not, but is Bannon controlling the internet? No, it's Zuckerberg, it's Twitter, it's Jack. Like what they do would make what Bannon did look like peanuts. So they always propagandize with the documentary. It's like, Zuckerberg's the worst. It's not the best, but, they want him to be worse. Roger Ailes is the worst thing ever. Bannon controls the internet. Like, it's always some BS. So anytime they do that, I'm skeptical because I know how they operate. So let's say Google and Alphabet. Yeah. All right. A couple more minutes, then I got to go. I got some groceries. Scott John said, love from New Mexico. You had a profound physical effect on my body and life, helping me release fear. You are a light to the world. Thank you. God bless you, John. And I want to tell Facebook, I don't know if I have any admins watching or Google, but I want to read this comment again because this is what happened. When you take away what I'm doing, like obviously I'm one person, but I'm way less hateful, way less fearful than Fox News, all these people, CNN. And this is the impact it has. So when you cut my reach from 3 million views to 100,000 views, this is what you're doing. Someone said, love from New Mexico. You've had a profound physical effect on my body and life by helping me release fear. Fear destroys your body. And if you get rid of it, you'll be healthier, like this person. And if you watch other news, you're going to be filled with fear. It's like closing down a gym. Oh, I closed down a gym. Yeah, now people are going to get more unhealthy. So as you're killing people, as you're destroying society, as you're becoming communist, fascist, authoritarian dictators, I'm trying to release fear and release tension and make people happier and more peaceful. And when you cut my reach, you're hurting people. And it's not just me. It's like closing a gym. You're hurting people. When you sabotage everyone else and funnel them to your stupid losers, you're hurting people. And I left, it's probably not a good idea. But I messaged my Facebook Connect again yesterday. And I'm like, do you realize how evil what you're doing is? Because I showed them, I posted CDC, I posted Ron DeSantis, I posted NBC News, I posted CDC stats. And that's what they banned me for. They didn't ban me for a conspiracy theory. They didn't ban me for hate speech. They chose an NBC News article and says I'm not allowed to post an NBC News article. Like, you think I'm joking. This is how stupid these people are. So I'm messaging them. I'm like, you realize how evil and sick you guys are. I hope you know this. Like, I'm probably not a smart idea, but I'm like, do you realize what you're doing? Like, you're luckily luckily I save money. Luckily I'm innovative. Luckily I work hard. Luckily I'm able to shift things to, my shop, dreamrare.com, or, Patreon. And now my YouTube's doing better. Luckily I don't have quit in me. I will never quit. They've picked the wrong fight. Okay. It's like, you do this, I'm going to just grow. So you picked the wrong person. But in general, it's like, they took away my AdSense on Facebook, which is more money than you believe. They took away this. They took away that. They've cut my reach, which is even worse than the money. It's like, take the money. Let me have the voice. Let me have the platform. Take that. Take it all. They took it all. I'm like, you realize how evil you are. Most people, you could have ruined their whole life, their whole career, their rent, like in a pandemic. Oh, pandemic. We care so much about people. So let's steal money from Anomaly. It's like, do you realize how evil you guys are? I just sent them a message. I'm like, I don't want the money back. Keep the money. I would like the reach back, to be honest. Please have that back. But like, I just want you to know how evil you are. Is that going to get me banned on Facebook? Maybe. But I just want these people to know how evil they are. It's like, what you did is evil. You can't explain it. You're wrong. You're sick. I'm going to tell you in an email. So, it's like these people are just gross. But for me, I'm mad that the reach is gone. But they knock me down a peg and I just go up 5 pegs. So it's like, am I losing money? A little bit, but have I almost fully reversed it in a month with no manager and no label? Yes, because you knock me down, I hit a trampoline. You knock me off the mountain, and you're like, he's dead. And you walk away. It's like a cartoon. It's like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. You walk away, and then I'm flying in the air on a rocket, and I have a rocket. You're like, how did he get there? I'm like, because you can't take me down. Okay, I mean, you could try, and then my message will multiply times 1,000,000. Go ahead. Ryan Michael said, always be leery of someone trying to push fear as the agenda. 1,000%. 1,000%. Fear is not the answer. Stressing people out is not the answer. It's not it. Someone said XRP to the moon. I don't have Ripple right now, but good luck. To the hodlers, if you're hodling Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Ripple, God bless y'all. Hodl to the moon. I don't have any. I buy and sell. I'm a day trader. I got ADD. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. I'm a day trader. I can't hang still. I'm like, let me buy Bitcoin. Let me sell Bitcoin. I got to calm down, but I can't handle myself. I made 10%. I'm out, but I'm back in next week. So hodlers, God bless y'all. Hodl to the moon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't know. If you know, you know. Playground of Sound, proud of you, bro. Love from Ohio. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joanne. I was watching, like, I watched back my video, not like the whole thing, but I was watching it back and it was so fast. I was like, do I talk this fast or is this on 2 times speed? I think it was on 2 times speed, or I'm just talking on 2 times speed. I'm glitching in the matrix and I'm just like, they try to knock me down and then I just glitch to 2 times speed. I can't tell which one it is, but I'm on live too much. So I just turned it off and went to sleep. I was like, not quite sure what's going on, but I'm so pumped though. It's like, fine, take it. Take that. You need it. You need it. It's like some of these people, they just feed off it like a succubus. They're like, there's this one lady, she's like, I'm so not tired of lockdowns. I'm so not tired of it. Why are you tired of lockdowns? It's like, you sound like the devil, a demon, like feeding off like a body or something. Like, you sound like a succubus. It's like, how do you not love these lockdowns? I'm ready for more. It's like, do you realize how many people are missing cancer screenings, treatments, dying of tuberculosis, getting suicidal? Like, you just want more. You're like, more lockdown. Like, I get it. You're a devil, a demon. I don't care anymore. Do it. Try me. Take away my reach on Facebook. Take away my AdSense on Facebook. Take it. Make it impossible for me to grow my subscriptions on Facebook so they go down and I lose thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or over the next couple of years $1 million. Go ahead. Take it. See what happens. See if I get flustered. See if I shut down. See if I cry. See if I stop doing what I do. See if I stop growing. Try me. Demons. And then I'll just make up a nickname. You're Bolshevik Beetlejuice, okay? Nice to meet you. What did you call yourself? I don't care anymore. Your name's Bolshevik Beetlejuice now, and everyone's going to call you that. That's your new name. Oh, Dan Rather? Oh, you lied in 2000? You told people to take it to the bank that Al Gore won the state? If we call it, book it, take it to the bank. You said that in 2000. Now you're telling Trump to give up? You're Devil Boy Dan Rather. Devil Boy Dan Rather now. Now you have a new nickname. You're not just Dan Rather. You're Devil Boy Dan Rather. And it's funny. And a lot of people are going to say it because it's really funny. So you were wrong in 2000. You never take it to the bank. And now you're lying again. You're Devil Boy Dan Rather. Bolshevik Beetlejuice. I'll keep going. Michael Newman, love you, brother. Live in a world of delusion. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you. Like you, what's your name? Hold on. Let me see. Oh, Demon? Oh, you're a demon. Oh, I love the lockdowns. Give me more lockdowns. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, calm down, succubus lady. It's a little creepy. It's one thing to lock down. It's another thing to like feed off it like a devil. Lockdowns. Oh, joy. Oh, joy. Let me eat the fear. They feed off the fear like a succubus. You succubus. That's a bad dad joke. All right. Someone said, I pray for demons. No, absolutely. Sometimes I pray for them. Listen, for the people, for the humans, for the soul, the lost soul, I pray. We pray for the lost soul. We pray for these humans. We pray for these people. We pray for everyone. I pray for my family, my friends, the world. I very rarely even pray for myself. I'm not a selfless prayer. I'm like, ooh, give me Guantanamo Bay. It's like, no, I'm praying for everyone else. I'm praying for their safety and security. I don't even pray for myself. I pray for the world and my family. But we pray for these lost souls. But for these demons, we call them demons. I mean, you might be a nice person, but the demon inside you is not a nice person. And I say, you need to go to hell. You're a demon, go to hell. You have a good day. The demon, I look the demon in the face and I say, you're not fooling me. You're not a liberal. You're not, oh, you're so nice. Oh, thank you so much for locking down my grandma. Oh man, I don't know what I would do if you weren't locking the elderly down like slaves. I don't know what would they be doing? Like socially interacting, having a good life like they used to? Thank you so much, devil. All right. A couple more minutes and then I got to go. Does anyone know the Chinese businessman bought Walmart? Is that true? Hold on. Let me look it up. Let's fact check. Hold on. Hold on. You can't think for yourself. Let me see. Chinese businessman, Walmart. Did a Chinese businessman buy Walmart? We got to fact check that. Is Walmart owned by China? No, it's a public company, but most of the goods are made in it. Yeah, I don't see it, but I mean, maybe. I just don't see it. But fact check false. Sorry. PolitiFact here. Snopes. I just snoped you. Sorry, I don't see it, but I don't know. Someone said the Waltons didn't sell. Yeah, fake news. Folks, we got fake news. Don't worry, I'm on the case. Don't worry, Facebook, I got it. I'll shut my audience down. If you want to research it further, maybe you can find something I ain't find. But listen, we don't do fake news here. Hold on, folks. You know what we do here, though? I'm gonna put on my new shirt. Folks. You're gonna love this. I just bought it from the Trump store. I said, Trump can take some of my money. Trump can take some of my money for his legal operation. All right, you guys can't see it on Facebook. You see that? You see it on YouTube. Now you see it on Facebook. Who's that? Pencil neck Adam Schiff, folks. Here, I'll back up so you can see. It's like a. Here, I got to stand on this because my Facebook audience can see. You see that? That's a pencil neck right there, folks. That's what a pencil neck looks like. So here, I got two cameras. It's not. You see that? Pencil neck Adam Schiff. So I bought that from the Trump store. I saw that. I was like, got to get that. It's got text Trump or something. But I don't want to text the number. I text the number and they text me every day. Anomaly, we got to be. It's like, dude, leave me alone. You're more annoying than the group chat I'm in. So I signed up for the text thing and then I unsigned it the next. Give me money. I was like, relax. Listen, it's too much texting. But I love the pencil neck Adam Schiff. You got to love it. It's on Trump's website. So I got my own shirts at dreamrare.com. But you see this. Stop. How am I not going to get that? I had to get it. And then I gave Trump like 20, 30, 40 bucks. I don't know. It's like, go give this to Sidney Powell or Lynn Wood. I don't want to take my money. Too much texting. Yeah, I mean, they texted me like 5 times in one day. Like every 30 minutes, like Patriots. I was like, dude, stop. Unsubscribed in the same day I subscribed. Pencil neck Adam Schiff. All right. So good. Well, look at it. This is art. That's art. It's like a Picasso right here. This person needs a Nobel Peace Prize and a Pulitzer. All right. I think I'm gonna take off. On that note. God bless you guys. God bless your family. God bless America. God bless the world. I appreciate you. I'm just gonna share my links and then I'm gonna go get some groceries. Parler at Dream Rare. Parler doesn't censor me, hopefully. Parler at Dream Rare. Instagram at Dream Rare. YouTube, just search Anomaly, AN0MALY. Facebook, AN0AMLY. AN0MALY. If you're on Facebook, they're trying to destroy my page, so you got to check manually every day, or you could check another one of the sites. I like Facebook. It's been good to me. I got 600 million plus views. Crazy engagement, but they stole it from me. They're like, I'm going to steal it because I work for the devil. It's like, we get it. We know. Okay. Yeah. I'm so sorry for quoting NBC News. I'm so sorry for posting CDC stats. I'm so sorry you guys are liars. I'm so sorry that your third-party fact checkers are idiots. I'm sorry that they're stupider than me. It's my fault. Okay, take all my stuff. That's the game we have to play on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, you got to manually check, unfortunately. And just check my videos because they're not going to show you in the feed. They've told me that. They're like, Anomaly, you're fake news for posting NBC and CDC. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even post like Gateway Pundit or anything. I posted literally like CDC like links. And they're like, our third-party fact checkers are idiots, so it's your fault. I'm like, and like literally, I'm like, I posted CDC, literally CDC stats from the CDC website, and it got flagged. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, just talk to the third-party fact checker. I'm like, I did. They're not answering. They're like, I'm sorry. That's all we can do. I'm like, go to hell then. Okay? Not you. The devil inside you. Go to hell. And then you'll snap out of it and be like, oh, my God, I was filled with demons working for the devil. I mean, I was just ruining people's lives and just locking down the world like slaves. You know, snap out of it, you devils. I don't even care. But, yeah, if you're on Facebook, check every day and click the things and check the clicks and stuff and click the checks and see my page, and then you can see my posts because they're not going to show you in the news feed. And then Parler, Dream Rare, Instagram, Dream Rare, dreamrare.com. Black hats just sold out. So now they keep selling out. So I think I have to refund 10 people who bought black hats. I mean, a lot of people got them, but now they're like sold out. I'm like, can you just take it off the website when it sells out? I don't understand. They keep selling, like, they don't have enough stuff. It's the pandemic. I'm like, just stop with the pandemic bullshit. Just do your job. Like, we can't do anything. Knit the hats. Tell me how much it costs. We'll get our own team to knit the hats. Like, just stop. It's a black hat. Just go buy more. Made in the USA. I don't know. It's embarrassing. But anyway, dreamrare.com. We got shirts. We got pink hats. They're limited edition. I'm going to have more shirts for Christmas. That's it. And stayintouchwithme.com is my free email list. Stayintouchwithme.com. Go to stayintouchwithme.com. Put your email in. Sign up. Least annoying email list ever. It's not like Trump's text where you get it every 2 seconds and you just want to unsubscribe. I haven't even sent an email for 2 months. That's how not annoying. 1 per month, maybe 2 per month, usually 1 per 3 months, because I hate emails and I hate spammers and I hate weekly emails. And since I hate it, I just assume that you hate it. So maybe you don't, maybe you love it and it's a good marketing, but I don't like weekly emails or daily emails, so I don't do them. So stayintouchwithme.com, sign up, have a good day, and God bless all the pencil necks out there. Hopefully thickens out and, you stop being so demonic. Have a good day, folks. I'll be back soon, barring, total banning from social media. All right, have a good one.